Hey y'all, Reverend Pope Foxy Fox, damn it, don't ask, I didn't do it here. And welcome back to another Ranting Reverend of Rants, something or other. The title of today's video is The Decline of the Argument Part 2, or You Suck at Listening. This is going to be a long one, so get your comfy pants on, grab some popcorn, grab a beer, and prime your fucking ears, because Foxy Fox has some shit to say. Now, before I dive in, this is a follow-up to a video published back in 2010 by ScaryDAve of the Church of Dave, entitled The Decline of the Argument, or Fuck Your Team. Link in the crotch bar and in the pinned comments. Now, it's come to my attention that some members of society suck at listening. Not in the way that you tell them something and they just don't hear you. No. I mean, you say something and your words go in one ear and right out the fucking other without rattling around in their headspace or meeting resistance in the person's fucking gray matter. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up now is that I'm just starting to build myself a nice new little nest on this small corner of the tubes where I can freely express my opinion without the fear of having to give a shit about what other people think about me, or having about 100 numbtards demanding that I pick a side and join their team. Oh yeah, you heard me right. But just in case you suck at listening, I'll repeat myself without the fear of having to give a shit. Some of you listening may be a little confused, so let me break it down for you. Now, I don't care what other people think about me. Never have, never will. However, sometimes I feel like I should care, or that I have to care, which is just fucking wrong. It's wrong because this invites all sorts of intolerable shitheads to come down on me and think that they can control me by making me censor my words and thoughts. See, that's the kind of shit that happens when you join a team. Initially, I didn't want to stir the pot with these numbtards here on YouTube because, whatever. But now, I've come back to the realization that I don't have to care about offending them because they have no fucking control over me. Fuck your team. See, there's a cycle that I've been going through over the past decade or so in my life where I'll have a period of self-honesty, where I say the shit that's actually on my mind, and a period where I'm self-dishonest and try to soften my words. Kind of dull the knife a little bit. But I'll be fucked if I don't realize each and every time that the dull knife gets rusty first. Sure, fortune may favor the bold, but survival favors the motherfucker that sharpens his sword. See, here's where the issue comes up. Here's where people suck at listening. People pick a team and defend that team at all costs. And if you're on the other team, then you're an absolute piece of shit who doesn't deserve to be heard. Oh, and these motherfuckers just love being the voice of their fucking team. Jesus fucking Christ, you people need to get over yourselves. For example, people watch videos on YouTube to be told things that they agree with or that are easy for them to listen to and process because most people don't want to think outside the tiny box they've stuck themselves into. They want to stay within the confines of their political, religious, or social ideologies, read as teams, and anything they see that contradicts the fragile concepts of their ideologies is seen as attacking, insulting, dangerous, hateful, bigoted, or whatever. Is nothing simply a waste of fucking time anymore? My kind of people are the ones who intentionally watch things that go outside of their ideology. Things that kind of make them uncomfortable in the way that shakes the foundation of their belief system. You see, I love watching videos from content creators and commentators who are motivated by things like politics, religion, and so on, no matter which team they're on. These content creators and their videos allow me to learn something new about how their team works, or to reevaluate my own viewpoints on certain topics. For example, about 4 years ago, two of my favorite social commentators, Zinnia Jones and Blair White, got into a bit of a YouTube debate and threw video responses at one another. Boy, I tell you, there's nothing like seeing a cat fight in slow fucking motion. Anyway, Blair did a video where she discussed how transgenderism could be considered a mental disorder, and Zinnia swooped in to give her 2 cents. While both sides made some valid fucking points, neither one of them was listening to what the other was fucking saying. You could watch video responses from either one and think, okay, this is just another video discussing trans rights. Boy, she seems pissed. My point is that both of them picked a team and then beat their chests in defense of their team. Fuck your team. An amazing example of things being done half right was when Tom Harlock published a video against Amberlynn Reed. His video was strictly to the fucking point and had a little fun with the subject matter and even made an impact. When Amberlynn Reed decided to react to him, though, she only reacted to one single point throughout her entire response, that Tom was being mean. Hell, she didn't even finish watching Tom's video because it was making her feel bad. Ergo, she wasn't fucking listening. To further prove his point, however, Tom watched her reaction and did a response of his own. The great thing here is that Tom listened and responded. Another place to look for this exact sort of behavior is Facebook. Now, I don't care much for Facebook, but it's a good place to go and vent, find out what friends and family are up to, and look at repost after repost of the same 23 shitty memes. Spend 5 minutes in any group meant for residents of any town, USA, though, and you'll quickly see that everyone's picked a team and is throwing shit at people on the other team. Again, this goes with any team, be it religious, political, sports, fucking dog versus cat people, for shit's sake. And nobody, I mean nobody, is listening to what the others are fucking saying. Fuck you people, and fuck your teams. A couple weeks ago, a lady in my local group posted about how one of her neighbors is selling drugs and that she's concerned about how her 2 or 3 grandkids are going to see this happening and wind up doing drugs. Sounds like it'd be doing them a favor, honestly, by the way her dumbass was rambling on about it. However, she had some glaring typos in her post that made the meaning completely unclear. It was either stealing drugs or dealing drugs. Either way, drugs were involved, and she wasn't standing for it. I wanted to be helpful, so I commented and pointed out quite simply that her typos were going to cause some people to misinterpret what she was saying, and suggested that she edit her post to be more clear. Boy, it was like I dropped trow in front of her and raped the family dog. She immediately jumped into a defensive position of accusing me of making fun of her. Initially, I wanted to say, fine, dumbass, get dragged for your own stupidity. Piss off the small community of people who could help your ass. See if I fucking care. But no. I tried explaining the nature of my criticism to her as calmly as possible. All the while being called a stupid, apathetic drug supporter and hearing about how she's such a devout Christian and how all of us are satanic for not immediately jumping to her side about this. You know what's coming, don't you? Fuck your team. It didn't take long to realize that I was arguing with a person who sucked at listening. See, I grew up in an argument-positive home. Not that everything sparked an argument or that my parents were violent dickheads or anything. Far fucking from it. Basically, if there was a disagreement, my parents' rule was, you'd better present your side of the argument properly and honestly, or there's going to be some fucking consequences. Didn't take me long to wise up about how to make a proper fucking argument. Did we have some bullshit fights about some stupid shit? Yeah, that's what family's for. However, they taught me how to argue. They taught me how to debate. They taught me how to present my side and back it up with evidence. And if I couldn't present any evidence, how to use my words to present my side accurately enough that I didn't need evidence. I still had my phase where I was a dumbass and a rebellious kid and I didn't want to follow the rules, but hey, we were all there one time, right? My kid's the same fucking way right now. He knows that if he comes at me with anger, I'll listen, but then he'd best be ready to hear anger thrown right back at him. It may take us a while for to calm down after it, But then there's an honest conversation that comes out of it where both of us listen to what the other's saying. All in all, what we have here is the fact that the majority of humanity has a collective desire to put their heads as far into their own asses, while simultaneously trying to shove both feet into their face holes. Said another way, it's like argumentative Kama Sutra. Everything flows into one giant ball of fuck. And the stars align in such a way that everyone involved ends up with their own dicks in their asses. Said yet another way, you know how children do this thing where they plug their ears and shut their eyes and go, ah, ah. That's become the societal norm for argumentation these days. Either that, or they become monkeys, throwing shit at one another for no other reason than their need to defend their fucking team at all costs. How about we put the turds down, pull our extremities out of whatever orifices we've decided to shove them into, and have a conversation where we listen to each other. That, right there, will save this world. Not Democrat versus conservative, Christianity versus Islam, team versus team, fuck your team versus team nonsense. We have more important shit to deal with in the world than your fragile fucking team-based worldview. If someone has a point, take a moment, hear them out. If you have something to say about it, make sure you have listened to their point first. So that does it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new format. Have a good one.